So I always like to start with this one because it's so true for me. I hope that it is true for you. And if it's not yet, well, let's work on that. Because no matter what your creative endeavor is, maybe you like to crochet something or knit something or use woodworking, ceramics, whatever your artsy, craftsy, practical, not as practical enjoyment, then let's do that. So warm-ups, last time when we did warm-ups, I went ahead and let me see if I can get this out of your way. I went ahead and we were doing our circle warm-ups. And so I was thinking there's got to be a better way, because even as I practice a lot with writing and handling, I don't know if any of you have micrographia. I do not. I hope I don't, but I may get it yet. But what I like to do with these warm-ups is just get my hands moving. And I want to show you a couple of things that might help. So if you will take one piece of paper and fold one corner up along the opposite side, what we're going to do is make a square. And so once you get that folded, just come to the top and fold that, and you'll be able to see the creases. And I apologize for my arms. I was out this weekend at the lake, and boy, doing yard work, I got a little beat up. So when you unfold your paper, you're going to have this original diagonal to make this a square once you fold that little tail piece there. So this is good for dexterity as well, right? Hand muscles. Now I want you to go ahead and take the small edge at the bottom of the diagonal and take it up to that fold that is really excess. And if that fold bothers you, just tuck it down. So there we have that. Then I want you to take this and fold it in half. Because what you're going to discover when you unfold, you now have 4 quadrants. Now you have one extra wrinkle, ignore it. I am going to use a nice black marker instead of a pencil, because a friend who was with us last time mentioned that the pencil was sometimes hard for her to see. And so just because I can see it doesn't mean all of you can. But what we're going to do here is that warm up with our circles and lines, which we're going to follow by some consecutive circles, and then we're going to get our hands to work. So in this top left quadrant, I want you to go, if you'll imagine this point, almost as if this is where the hands, 4 primary hands on a clock, we're going to go. You can make dots, you can imagine it. Obviously, this one's not even centered. It's okay. But what we're going to do is counterclockwise, starting here. Notice that I'm using my hand and my wrist a lot. Can you tell that? I'm going to show you something. So there's our first circle counterclockwise. Mine's not perfect. That's okay. But the idea is to do that counterclockwise movement. But now I want to show you something. Having the folds be like imaginary lines is one good tip, one helpful tip. Now getting into position and using your arm, not just your hand and wrist, but actually engaging your arm in the making of that circle. Even though I didn't quite match here, I did better. So this would be, I'm going to do it smaller. This would be a hand wrist movement. This would be an arm movement. And arm movements work much better for me. Let's go to the top right. We are going to go clockwise. So if you want to, you can start anywhere you want. When I go clockwise, I actually like to start at 9. I don't know why. But I'm going to do it with hand wrist first. I'm losing space. That's okay. So obviously not a very good circle, but okay. Now I'm going to do it with arm movement. Okay, bigger muscle, paying more attention, as well as using big muscle. I'm going to go get my circle started. Mucho better. Isn't that fascinating? I find that fascinating. Now there's the circles, counterclockwise, clockwise, hand wrist, not so good as full arm movement. We're only going to do one of each of the next tasks. We did the full warm up last time. I still have another step to today's warm up. We're going to go ahead and start at the center and draw our lines out. Okay, so we're going to go to 12 o'clock. Now, again, I am starting to use whole arm, and I recommend you do that. Visualize 1. We're going to go out to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So from center out, how are you doing? Are you getting some semblance? Oh, see, too skinny. That's okay. It's called a warm up for a reason. 9, 10, 11. So not perfect, good warm up. I like it. Now over here, what we're going to do, and I'm going to come down to this one, it's a little bit more of a circle. We're going to go from the outer line to the center. So I'm going to use hand and wrist first for a couple. Down, down. So I find my starting point, and I get my hand and wrist more involved. Now I want to use my arm. So I'm going to go to 4, center, 5, center. Whoa, missed. Fascinating. I love this. I'm going to go down here. 6, center. Whew, that's harder for me. How you doing? I think I'm better on this, hand and wrist. I think I need arm for circles. Oh, that's much better. Hand and wrist, hand and wrist. Huh. So you can practice, see what works for you. But these warm-ups are very good for our fingers, our hands, our wrists, and then eventually arm, shoulder. Now I'm going to go up to this tag, and my marker bled a little. Don't let that bother you. But I don't know if you remember learning cursive in school. I think we were 2nd grade when we started that. And the teacher always had us start by doing these. And we would do them somewhat separately. And then I'm going to do a little bit smaller to have more control. I'm going to overlap quite a bit. And after we had begun to get an idea of cursive, how A printed became A cursive, then this was just me most likely, but I started playing with something I had learned about, and I really got better at this in junior high. It was junior high when I went to school. I'm old, but it's now middle school, right? But I started doing this. I would print, and then I would cursive. And I would print, and then I would cursive. And I think what's fun about going backwards, especially with Parkinson's, it's making me be more cognitive, more aware, more thoughtful about it. Of course, right now I'm doing this without lines. But if I was going to write and, okay, there it is backwards. Here it is frontwards. Not too bad. But I highly recommend that you try this. And big is good if you want to use just your pen. I don't happen to have just a pen, but I have just a small pencil. I don't know if you can see it. But you're going to have greater control with your smaller, I think, smaller lead. And it makes me feel like I'm a lefty. You know how your hand gets in the way of your words? Oh, and that's the other thing. Try your non-dominant hand. Ooh. Can I print it? Gosh, I don't want you to break your arm or anything, so you have to do this, but that is good practice. And of course, they probably want us to do it this way, which I cannot do very well. I'm like a lot of lefties. I want to do it with my hand on top. Some of you may have been school teachers or helped or had your own kiddos that were left-handed. Pretty fascinating. So for your warm-ups, anything that gets you from small to big and back to small, even for things like writing, drawing, sketching, I think it's extremely helpful. Okay, now we are going to try one more thing with lettering before we move to our feature of the day, which is our envelope book. Now this is a piece of paper I've used before, so it looks messy, but here's what I did. And you can watch this and do it yourself later because I don't know that you have scissors handy, but I just cut a small piece. Now, when I'm using blue painter's tape and quality paper, I can use the tape, write what I want, pick up the tape, and it does not tear the paper. But everything I have discovered on this regular paper does tear. So here's just an idea, FYI. So let's say I want to write a 2-word encouragement to somebody. This is not perfect yet at all. I'm going to just get it started. And you'll notice that I'm somewhat using my little piece of paper there in the middle. And I'm going to come back and fix that. And I'm somewhat not. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler along the lines of this. And we're going to get another opportunity to use this phrase today. And it would happen to be scatter joy. So now I take this off. And see, I've left myself a little going. And I can go ahead and bring this out. I can do this. I can wiggle this. You can do anything you want to those edges. But what we do now is I would, fine tune those letters if I chose. And then I'm going to put scatter. Of course, this is one of my favorite phrases if you were with us before. And last week we talked about a faux calligraphy where if you draw down, then if the right side is where you go thick, then that will become, look more like calligraphy than just your single letter. This one is actually I can visualize it. I don't know if you can yet, but it's like this. And then if I want it to be thick, I can actually go on both sides. So you can do faux calligraphy one-sided or both, just depending on what you want the final product to look like. It's fun. So I've got scatter, ER. And we'll make this be thick, this be little. So I've got scatter joy, and I did one with a little bit more decoration the other day. So it looked like that. The scatter was a wee bit bigger, used some different patterns in the letters as I chose, but it's fun. And even when I'm writing a letter to someone, yes, I still snail mail. I'll just put a little decoration at the top, almost like to personalize it, make it my own stationery. So do we have any questions, or shall I repeat? Are you warmed up, feeling ready to go? Here we go. This from the top is what an envelope book looks like. It's a folded, like almost using, not origami, but we're going to make like these little pockets, which is why they call it envelope, and then book because it opens and folds, opens and closes like a book. And what we're going to do is with some lettering and some images, make 4 tags. You can do front, back, and have it be 8 tags. This one was for a friend who loves books and reading. And she's very staunch. She has 4 daughters. So she is very good at building women up. So I just found little quotes, and I drew some little books. She reads books as one would breathe air, to fill up and live, a quotation from Annie Dillard. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. You can find anything you want to write on these, and we're going to do something a little bit different when we finish ours, and that's part of the fun. Here's one. Her last name is Fox. So I found some paper that actually had little foxes on it, and then I painted a little picture without the eyes and mouth, whiskers, etc., but just to give the image of the fox. She likes dogs and I like cats, so I thought it was hilarious when I found this quotation from Aaron Hunter. The fox looks like a dog, behaves like a cat. And then you have filled my heart with greater joy. She is a quilter. So this one is beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. And then I love making just these squares, variety of shapes in a piece of paper. And then I just filled each one with words. This one says, when life gives you scraps, so a quilt. If any of you are quilters. So we're going to make an envelope book. And here's what you need to know. The ratio to make an envelope book depends on the size of your paper and your finished product. So this is a 3x3, which I think is the best size. But using just regular copier paper, you can make a 2x2, because 8.5 by 11, you can get a 6x8 inch cut out of that. This one is actually out of, and if none of you scrapbook, or if you don't scrapbook, just want to show you, this is actually a large piece of paper. It is the 12x12, which is pretty standard for scrapbooking. And so all I had to do then was cut it to 9x12 in order to get the size I wanted. And I'll be folding that one, but you're welcome to fold the regular paper. If you've got big paper, you can go 4x4, 5x5, but I don't have any of that big paper. Also want to note that thin paper is best. Double-sided is lovely, and you can see that on this one. The random print kind of flowers is one side and a solid is the other side. This one for today that I'm using is plain white on one side. That's okay, it works. So you kind of just, if you're folding and it's a thicker paper, you can use a bone folder. You can use, now if it's not too sharp a ruler, you can use a ruler to help those edges be secure. But then here's a fun fact. Everybody has scissors, right? And your scissors are a great way to help those creases stay in place. So you might have a standard piece of paper, and I'm going to show you what to do to fold it into thirds and how we fold this. This is what I'm using. I don't know if you came prepared with that, but here's what we do. Actually, I'm gonna do both, but oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I bumped it. I'm working around the little stem. It's not always easy, but it's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this first too. You're going to need a ruler. That I don't think, well, you could eyeball. I'll show you how to eyeball. Now I actually can cheat with my board here, which is a cutting mat. It's self-healing on one side. But I'm gonna line this up. And if I want to just do my best, what I need to do the long way is I need to fold it in thirds. So you can just play with it until you know you've got it in thirds. If you are using standard paper, I've already done the math, 8.5 divided by 3, and it is 2 and 13/16. So 2, and then if it's 16 across, then 13/16 will be here, okay? And I am not gonna try to figure out the math as I keep going. I'm gonna move this over and do my 2 and 13/16 again. And I'm going to do that near the bottom as well. So you want to be marking your paper. If you do have ruler, 2 and 13/16, 2 and 13/16. It's a smidge off, but it works for me. Now, if you should be so fortunate as to have when I've gone blank, I'll think of it. But if you have something where you can make this indentation on your page, then that's going to, you probably can't see that, well, a little bit. That's going to give you, all right, somebody in chat, what am I using? I can't think of this tool. That's embarrassing, but it's okay. Things like that happen, right? And then you're going to, oh, and if you don't have one of those, you can actually draw a light pencil line. I just don't want to erase all that pencil line. That's why I like to just make the marks. So our first fold, we're going to do one direction, and then just to make sure that it folds nice and easy, when the time comes, we're going to do a fold in the other direction. So you have your paper marked into thirds in one fashion or another. I know I use this with embossing. I'm getting close to remembering that name. And fold up the one. You can find some lovely papers pre-printed to make these. Like I was so delighted when I found that fox in order to make that for my friend whose last name is Fox. So we put that one in. And if you have any dexterity issues or picking these up is difficult, you can get those little fingertiplets to give yourself a better grip. So right now I have 3 vertical columns the long way of the paper. I'm going to erase my little pencil marks now while I'm thinking about it. You may have drawn a light pencil line, just erase that. Of course, and for our purposes, you're welcome to just leave it if you need to for today. Okay, so that's what yours is going to look like if you're using regular sized paper out of your printer. I'm going to quickly mark. This obviously is going to be 3, 6, and 9. Much easier math for my head. 3, 6, and 9. Embossing tool? No, it's got a different name. Thought of it just a minute ago, but it's just All right. So whichever paper you are using, I think by now you should have it folded. And then what we're going to do are a few more folds to make our envelope have pockets. The most, this is fun. I enjoy doing this, but the most fun for me is when we get to make our tags. That's what personalizes this. Okay, now you're going to be able to see this better, I think, than the white, so I'm going to continue with this. What I want you to do next requires no pencil marks, no rulers, because we're going to let the paper be our guide. Okay. So now, if you would, take the short side at the bottom and fold it up to the short side at the top. Basically, yes, we're folding it in half. That's simple. Okay. So now we have one fold vertical, another fold vertical. Those are spaced evenly to make 3 columns, if you will. And now we have smack dab in the middle, a fold. Once again, if you will go to the short side at the bottom, we're going to fold it up. Just kind of touch that fold in the middle. Don't go over it, because then when we do some more folds in a bit, they're not going to be very friendly folds. But everything is fixable. The good news is this is very forgiving. Right? Same process on the other side. Bottom to the middle, or top if you're folding it down, however you put the paper. I've done this with kids. I've done it with people of every age that I can think of. And it's just fun. Now, when you're like this, you should have 12 boxes if you've gotten all your folds. And this actually folding, this is what made me think to fold my paper into quarters to do my circles and warm-ups. And I go, oh, yeah, that's just perfect for putting that in there. All right, now, in order to fold this, we do have to make 2 cuts. The good news is there's only 2. So right here in the middle of the long side, okay, I need to pick it up so I can see my crease better. I'm going to cut just to that next fold. Okay, so if you can make 1 cut. Other side, outer edge in the middle, long side to the center fold. All right. I think I will continue, but tell me to back up if you need me to do anything. Now, if you have printed paper on one side only, you actually want to do these folds with the white side up, or plain side. It may be a color, but just plain. All right, here's what we're going to do. I like to start on the right. I don't know why. You can start on the left, you can start in the middle. But I start right here, and I'm going to take this corner to that corner. Here, I'm going to use my pencil. There. Now you can see what corner I'm heading to. So take this up. And again, you try not to overlap those folds too much. It may or may not be as perfect as you like, but it's going to be just fine. So there's one corner. This corner. So this is repetitive. We're just going to do 4 of these. And again, I'm going to get it as close as I can right here. I don't want to overlap because that's going to give me a thickness. It's not going to be real friendly later. Hey, look, we have a house, roof and all. If you do like I did when I was a kid, only I need a chimney right here and a window and a door. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the bottom because we're going to end up with 2 roof tiles. Is that possible? Yeah, it's a townhome. There's one. There's one. Okay. So that's half. Same thing on the other half. Corner in, crease. Try not to get onto the crease right here or right here. Just touch, but don't pass. And if you have little gaps here or if they don't quite fold, it's all good, because when we finish, nobody's going to notice anything like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, going for 4. Here we go. And if you teach this, do this with a child, it's so fun for them to work with the directions up, down, left, right. Words like overlap. It's just good. All right. This is your finished product. Uh-oh. I think I bumped it. I'm going to have to, oh, it's a, so sorry. I didn't bump it. Somebody tried to call and I didn't, but I had it off. Back to horizontal. Yes. Okay. My bad. I apologize. Now it's off, I hope. So what we do is turn it over. If you do have a decorated side, I'm sorry, stay here. I'm so sorry. Got rattled. Stay right here. Fold this up. Fold this down to overlap. Okay. Looks like an envelope, doesn't it? Thus the name envelope book. Because otherwise, I think I'd have called it pocketbook. It's the pockets that are going to mean more to us shortly. Okay, fold that down. Fold this down. Oh, I got a little too close. There we go. Okay, so one here, one here. How are you doing? Now, even though we've been kind to our creases and we want them to be kind to us, the next few folds are going to require some more creasing, whether it's bone folders, scissors, whatever. So you're going to take this first one at the end. So turn your paper so that it's vertical, I mean, skinny long. And we're just going to take this one and see how it wants to stand up. I'm just going to very kindly tell it that I want it to go down. I'm going to use my bone folder to readjust those edges. Okay, that's fold number 1 as we're getting finished. Now we're going to fold it right here in the middle, which is an easy fold typically. And I like to turn it because it's just easier for me to fold up than down. I'm going to take it right here and fold up. Again, it's going to be a little lumpy looking. I'm going to crease. And you'll find the front of your book by looking when you open it. Do you have pockets? Let me give you a better picture here. Pockets that would hold a tag? Then that's correct. If it's like this, the pockets would fall out, so that's upside down. Now, if the way your print looks, you want to change it, all you have to do is change it. It's that simple. Some people like to sew this by hand or with a machine, or they'll glue this. They don't want it to come apart. I just leave it. But I do want to be able to close it, and that's fun. Let me show you some examples. We want to close it so things don't fall out of it. This is a simple piece of elastic and a button. I got a little bit bigger one to show you. Have you guys seen these wooden buttons? They are so fun. But here's what I do to make these the right size. I put my button down. I start my thread, or elastic actually. Set my button here, bring my elastic around, go up through this other hole of the button. And I put some tension on it. Okay, it's not exact science. How tight do you want it? As long as it'll stay on and stay closed. And then I do a simple square knot. I don't know if you know how to do a square knot, I'm gonna show you. So it's gonna be right over and under left. Well, actually it's left and then right over and under left. And then I don't want those to be that long. So I just cut to whatever length I like. Make it match a little better. And that could be my simple closure. Okay. And I don't know if you've got a little one or if you've seen these or if you even wear these. But the scrunchies. All right, where'd my scrunchie go? There's what's called a flat scrunchie for hair. You've seen these? Instead of the kind of round ones. And the ones you can buy, they come on a card. They are absolutely perfect for the 3x3. I love that. Here's a bright purple button. So you can just do these out of anything. So those are the envelopes. Let's talk about the tags. You can buy pre-made tags. Now these are really old. If any of you are former scrapbookers or continue to be scrapbookers, paying company, I don't even know if they're still around. But I have a variety that I pulled out of some different booklets that I have left over from scrapbooking, and they're pre-made. Now, one of the things I don't like is to have design on one side and nothing on the other side. That just doesn't look polished or finished to me. There's nothing wrong with it. If you don't mind it, that's fine. But once I put them into the booklet, the envelope book, I just prefer that they all look good. Get this one. Okay. So this one, you can see I took this one and I took another one and I just glued them together. And what we're going to do is use ribbon to decorate the top, and you get all these fun little colors. So I went with, the colors that match the paper here. And these are simple white tags that I made myself just by using like mixed media paper or cardstock, which is inexpensive. You can buy a package of tags, even the white ones, just like this. This has 20 pieces and they come in a variety of sizes. They tend to come in a variety of colors. Usually it's white or like paper bag brown. I have seen black. For our purposes today, I'm going to go ahead and just use plain ones because that's what we're working with. But I really liked these, this little wiggle design. And you can always cut to a design if you want to. But see, that fits pretty good. But see, then it's white on the other side. So I'm going to put mine in like this for now. To tell you the truth, because I do have two of these, if I was doing this for certain, I would glue these together so that I'd have it two-sided. You can also use two-sided tape. That's wonderful stuff. If you do glue it, don't let it get lumpy and icky. So that could be one. This could be one. This could be one. Notice it's kind of pinks and yellows. I mean, if I was making this for a guy, I'd be definitely using some different colors. But with my 4 things here, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually not going to use this one, because here's the fun surprise. We're going to take this one. Now let's letter. I'm just going to use a simple, well, I'll just continue to use this black one because I think you can see it well. So on my first one, and I'm going to actually number it so that the recipient, if they care to put them back in order, they'll know what number is what. And in truth, I don't normally just use black. You could see from my examples earlier that I use a variety of colors, a variety of lettering styles. Just, I play with it. I'm just having fun and, spreading a little cheer, spreading a little joy. So it brings me joy to make them. And it hopefully gives them joy to receive them. So what I'm going to do is called long letters. I'm going to start right about here and go that way. You might be using a plain white tag. Still can do exact same of what I'm doing. So I'm going to put, let's see, S-C-H. Okay, I'm going to put seek joy on number 1. So I'm going to go long, make my S, long, make my E, long, make my E, long, make my K. And I chose to come down in a little dip for a reason, but you could keep it where your line is going to go straight again from that K. But I wanted that because I am going to make it look like I have tied on string, and I'm going to dangle And I am going to put, let's see, let's do it this way. And then I might dot, and almost like a reverse ombre, I'm going to go thicker at the bottom and then get a little thinner as we go up. Now I'm just decorating on this with a marker on colorful tags. You might be wanting to completely color yours on a plain tag. You might want to leave it in all black and white. That's pretty cool, especially if you use like old pages from a dictionary or a newspaper. That's fun. So there's my number one. Okay, if we had more time, we would make it prettier, fancier, and all that good stuff. So number one is going to go in there. And of course, we're going to pretend that it has a backing so that you don't see that marker stick through. So there's number one, and I'd have ribbons. I'm going to show you how to do the ribbons in a moment. I'm sure you wouldn't know how to do that, but my number two, number two. Okay, we're going to seek joy. I bet you know this next one. Once we seek it, we should choose it. But here, I really don't want to use this fat pen. I think you're going to be able to see if I use a little bit smaller pen. I'm going to get one that I think will be thick enough for you to see. This one is going to say choose joy. So I am going to go with a tall skinny. And then maybe a little bit of a decorative like this. And then an O up here and an O down here. And then I'm going to take my S the whole way. I'm going to do a fun E. Choose. If you're not comfortable just with doing that, let me show you this, just so you know you can do it. I mean, I hope you know you can do this. You could take your ruler and you could draw some lines and use those for making your letters. So let's do a similar joy, dancy joy. And then all you have to do is get that eraser again. I like to let it sit for just a second, but may not have to. These are. And there you have the pencil marks to guide you, but you can get rid of those pencil marks and people will think you were just perfectly whatever. And then this one I'm going to fill with, I'm going to get see, I like different sizes of pens. Is that bad? I hope that's not bad. I think it's bad. It's just different. In case you don't know, I'm going to put this up while I dig my pen out. There you go. So this is, let me bring it up to you. See, the 005 is 2 millimeters, 01, 03, 05, 08, 10, 12. And then look at the fine Sharpie is the thickest of all of them. The good news is there is an ultra fine Sharpie that's about like this one. But when you have, if you do have multiple markers, if you'll make yourself a little cheat sheet like that, then all you have to do is glance at it to see what you want. I'm going to go with an 02. And I'm going to do little, since I have flowers on this is for a friend who's a girl. I'm just going to draw little flowers. I'm going to bring them half. I'm going to make them whole. And one little petal, get a leaf in here. A little more flower. I have to admit, I usually draw slower when I'm not worried about time. So I'm going to make that a little bit smoother. And it's kind of like the flower power of the 60s. You can tell where I came from. Now in this one, I'm just going to do circles, almost like the circles on that big button. That'd be a fun way to tie it together. If I didn't want to just do all circles, I could do some partials. This had little green dots in between, so I'm going to alter them. I mean, I know this isn't green. If I was making it look like my button. Big circles and dots. And then I think that I will do a single stripe followed by a double, followed by a single stripe, followed by a double. And I'm just giving you some examples. Lines, flowers, leaves or not. Again, a wee bit messy, but I'm going to outline, I think, just to give it a little more something. But I want you to play. Just enjoy making something for a friend. And it's your gift of, you're giving a gift of your time. And that's very precious. So there's number 2. Okay. Now, number 3, but you know what this one's going to say? And I have got to get a color for this one. I don't know about you. Let's see, pink. I'm going to go with a kind of purple and see if that might not be enough to show up. Let's go with a darker purple. Maybe more of a magenta. I'm not sure what this will be. Okay. Now this one, I'll line this up. It is going to say, seek joy, choose joy, scatter joy. Because I'm going to with number 4. So there's my scatter. And what do we want to do for this joy? I'm going to make O be a little flower. And you can see how some of these marks now are similar to our warm-ups. Warming up is good. And I'll just kind of do some little wisps. Just for fun. A little bit more maybe like chrysanthemum. Any old flower you like. I'll show you in a second one of my favorite flowers. So there's my O. I'll thicken this a smidge. Okay. And I'm just gonna, to make that size, I'm gonna go with my J here. A bit thicker. Might not have been the best color choice, but I like it. And Y here, make it like a normal cat. Now this one, Scatter Joy, is actually a quote. So I'm gonna let Emerson have his due. Good old Ralph Waldo. Oh, and that's number 3. Yeah, that should be there. Now I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna finish this together. Watch this. So here we have our little envelope book closed up, let's say in its finished form for our recipient. Okay. Ribbons are up here, so it look prettier. Then when they open it, they're going, and you can write a little note to them here. You're going to open it and you're going to see Seek Joy. So like, hey, really, let's do it that way. Plain pretty. Pretty here. Seek joy. Choose joy. Use color, use. And then scatter joy. And how did I scatter joy? Well, maybe my friend is a moviegoer. Gift cards fit perfect in these things. Maybe it's my friend's birthday and they're nuts like me about making stuff. Happy birthday. Maybe I can't advertise for them. I don't know. But, gift cards. And if you don't want a gift card, don't have a need to give a gift card, you just make number 4. And it might be something like sing for joy. And, I'm going to show you a cute little bird you can do. Let me get my bigger pen so you can see it good. That's not it. Here, this will work. Okay, here's a fun little bird to doodle, okay, for sing for joy. So all you have to do is kind of make a little wobbly line about like that. Okay. And then like that. And then kind of a U shape that connects them. With me? 2 little eyes. One, if you don't like it looking like that. I kind of like the fun look. If you want to, you can beak it. And then this is going to have a twirly here, and a twirly here, and a twirly here. Okay. Music notes, because this is going to be sing for joy. If you have any music teachers out there, you're not going to like it. You can even do a little staff if you want to know what the treble clef is. Now, what's really fun here is, since I did those types of little tail feathers, I'm going to dress up my little singy bird. With those same little spirals. So whether it's 4 tags or 8, if you do front and back of 4, or whether it's 3 and a gift card or such, my little birdie is going to have long legs. Usually I make the front leg a little shorter, and then I'm going to give mine 3 little toesies. I don't know. It's for fun, right? And then you can put sing for joy. That's fun. You might find some other phrases or words about joy, but this would be a little joy letter. Ta-da! Ribbons. All right, let's talk about ribbons. So I can tell you this, you may be more successful than me with thicker ribbon, but I am much better with ribbon that is 1/4 inch or should be 1/8, yeah, 1/8 inch. And often at one of our 2 local craft stores, I guess I can say Michael's or Hobby Lobby are the 2 we have mostly. We have Joanne? And then of course Walmart, whatever. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this color because it matches this little piece. And however big you want your ribbon, it's completely up to you. And if you don't want to use it, okay, let me show you what you can do. Okay. If I use the thicker ribbon, you can just take one about this long, fold it in half, and staple it on there. Okay. But if you choose to use one of these that's about this long, how long is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 inches. Fold it in half. And then just in case you struggle with, well, which end do I put where? I've always learned that if you put it in on the side you want on top, you put it in here. And I do like to use 2 pieces of ribbon per tag when I finish it nicely. I'm just showing you one. Then when you get ready to finish, you're going to have this nice edge right here. And then I like to angle these either the same way or going toward each other. Whoops, missed. Missed twice. There we go. So that's just fun. You can make your ribbons shorter, longer, whatever moves you.